Hi guys. I'm loving this corner of the workshop at the moment. In today we've got a 2018 Citroen Berlingo's coming non-start. Blokes originally had the AA out to it. They've guessed at a fuel pump and the garage have fitted one and it's still a non-start. So we're going to get in there, have a look, see what's going on. I have already had a quick gander at the back to find out how accessible the fuel pump is, and we've got to get the whole back of the van up. There's no way of getting to the fuel pump from the inside, so I'm going to get it jacked up, get a wiring diagram up and start running some tests. But I'll catch up with you in a minute when I've got it in the air and I'll see you at the computer. We are at the diagram. The car is in the air, so this is what we are dealing with. This is our fuel pump. This is our under bonnet fuse box and this is ECU. So for our live and earth, they're coming straight from the fuse box and they're coming through fuse 8 and this relay. So what we need to do is make sure we're getting our power in. We're going to go straight down here. We're going to make sure we've got our live, we've got our earth, and these are our ECU controls. But let's make sure we've got the basics first. Make sure we've got these two. And here we go guys, under the car now. We've actually traced it back to this multi-plug here. This wire here is our live and this pin here is our earth. So let's test these. Ignition is on. Got a probe. So we've got our earth. Let's just test our live. Oh, we've got nothing on the probe. Back of the diagram. So as you've just seen, down under the car, we've got our earth and we've got no live. So we're going to go all the way back to the fuse box. First of all, we're going to check our fuse, make sure that's all good. If we've got our live at the fuse, we're going to go to whatever plug that is, pin 19, make sure it's coming out the fuse box. And then that will rule this side off, and then we've got the long painstaking side of tracing that wire and finding the brake. I'm really hoping it's the fuse box side. It would make my day. And here we are guys, we're at the fuse. This is the one we need to test, just this one here. So let's see if we got current going all the way through. Make sure our fuse is good. That side. And that side. So, we know that fuse is good now, which means we know the relay is good. So let's make sure it's coming out the fuse box and find that plug. Right everybody, so this is our pink wire. It's luckily it's the same colour that goes all the way down. Just need to test it, make sure it's actually coming out. Yeah, so we got voltage coming out of the fuse box. Which means our issue is between here all the way down and there. Let me show you the slight issue we've got. The wire that we're tracing, it comes from the multi-plug that we were testing, it comes all the way down and it comes into the car in line here. It runs all underneath the bottom, which means it's going to run from there all the way down, in from the car, which is over there, and it goes into the loom there from the fuse box. That leaves me with a predicament. Where do I start? I'd want to start in the middle, but to start in the middle, we've pretty much got to empty the van, pull that bit of trim up and hope we can see the loom underneath this bit of trim here. But it's a gamble, and it's a lot of work for a gamble. Or do we, because it looks a bit dodgy in here as it is. Everything's a bit grimy, mucky, there's a little bit white bits. Do we strip down the bay on the right side and hope and pray that the brake is going to be in this part? Or do we take the gamble and do we empty the van and take that trim off?
Or do we pull the glove box down and see if we can see the wire there?
Or, as Bob has just pointed out, it comes into the car behind the glove box. I suppose it's a sort of middle part where it comes from out to in to out again. I might do that. I might take the glove box out because it's going to be easier than stripping down the bay, emptying the van and taking that bit of trim off and praying. I think I'm going to take the glove box out, see if I can see where the wire enters the vehicle and go from there. I'm going to catch up with you in a minute when I've got that glove box out. Right, going to give you a quick update on this Berlingo, which is becoming a royal pain in the backside. So I nipped the glove box out to find where the wire went to, and I did trace it down to, it comes down the side, pretty much just down here. And I did trace it to there, and it's all good. Got voltage there. So we had to trace it a little bit further back. I spoke about that bit of trim earlier in the back, but all the stuff was in the way. So we had to take all the stuff out to get to it, and I did take it all out. And I've been praying this whole time that the brake is in the car, because it would be so easy. If it was there, I'd do it. If it was there, I could do it easily. So I traced it down to here, and it's still fine. So underneath, it comes in. It goes out of the car here, just in this little gap there, and it runs all the way across the AdBlue tank, which means I've got to drop the AdBlue tank, because I can't even get to the wiring harness without it. So I've got to drop it one side, pull the loom through, put it back up for a minute, and find it. I'm having an absolute nightmare. And I've had to take everything out the back. I've had to pull the floor up. I've got a custom tool for it now, because I couldn't actually get anything underneath it enough to get the bolts out. So I had to cut down the tool. I'm having a bit of a mare. So I'm going to crack on, get the AdBlue tank dropped so I can get the loom out and find the brake, because it's going to be an external brake, not an internal one. So let's go. So I made an executive decision not to drop the AdBlue tank. What I decided to do was unplug everything that is attached to that harness and pull it above it through to the inside of the car. As I was doing so, pulling it through, I'll show you what we found. There we go. There is our broken wire. So what I'm going to do now is get a repair done on that, pull everything back through, plug it all in, just before everything goes back together, make sure that it starts, and yeah, we'll call it a day. So I'm going to do that repair. I'm going to extend the wire a little bit, because where it's corroded, it's eating away at quite a lot of the wire. So I'm going to do that, test it out, and then get the car back together. But I'll catch up with you in a minute after I've done the repair and plugged everything back in. Right everyone, so I've done our repair, I've plugged everything back in the rear. Let's turn her over, see what happens. Look at that, there she is. She's a runner. Coming, not running, leaving, running. We love it. As you can see, I got absolutely annihilated by the dirt under the car. Ended up in my eyes and everything. I ended up wearing sunglasses under there. I had no glasses. But there we go. It's all good. I'm going to put everything back together, get the cab sorted, get the rear all sorted where we pulled them wires through, and I'll catch up with you guys in a minute once it's all back together, ready to go. And there we go. Another one in the books. It's all back together, it's all running. Customers literally just come and picked it up, literally as we finished. We let them know it was going to be ready on time. And it's all good. So let us know how we did. Drop us a little like, a little comment. Anything we could have improved on like usual, let us know down below. And I'll see you on the next one. Ta-da!